Yes, welcome back into the Drive at 5, second hour of today's show. Mark Paulette and Ernie Clark with you once again here on Maine Sports Leader 92.9 The Ticket. First piece of housekeeping to open up the Drive at 5 after wrapping up the first hour. I most certainly forgot to fire off that cue to call at the end of the last segment. So we'll be doing that twice now in the Drive at 5. One at the end of this segment, one at the end of next segment. So your chance to get in on our Red Sox ticket sweepstakes presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. One more game to give away that's coming up on September 9th against the Angels. We'll have the drawing on September 2nd against the Drive. And every day between now and September 2nd, we'll be getting in as many listeners as we can to try to fill up that Red Sox bucket and pluck out one more name to send down to Fenway with those 4 great seats, Field Box Section 54, Row J, once again, courtesy of Dunnett's Appliance and Service. Now, a very, very strange occurrence took place in last night's Red Sox game, which they lost 2-1 against the Toronto Blue Jays, a third straight loss for the Red Sox to open up that 4-game series in Toronto. Their lone run of the game was scored in belated fashion after a 17-minute review, a rules review, not in which they were necessarily checking the replay to see, if the ball beat the runner to the bag or something like that you expect to see in a baseball game. No, they were phoning back to New York to see what exactly this rule was and how you apply it, because here's the setup. I put this all in the driver to make sure that I had it in print in front of me. I didn't want to leave it to my brain.
See it, yeah.
So the Red Sox had runners on first and second with nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. Nick Sogard ripped a screaming one-hopper to Vlad Jr., who grabbed it on like a diving backhanded attempt off the first base bag. There appeared to be a little bit of confusion on the field at the time, most notably from Connor Wong, who didn't see whether Guerrero caught the ball or trapped it, because this liner went right by his hip. He had to turn around, and all he saw was Guerrero sprawled on the ground. So he did the right thing. He just froze. Guerrero then threw down to second base.
Wong was the runner at first base.
Yes, Wong froze, not knowing should he go back, should he go to second. Guerrero gets up, throws down to second base, and effectively that's where that play ends, although there still appeared to be a little bit of confusion because Sogard still runs down to first. He stands there, and that should signal to everybody that it was not a line drive that was caught by Vlad Jr., that it was a forced play out at second. So now there are runners on first and third with one out. The next batter that comes up is Cedon Rafaela. He goes after an early pitch. I honestly can't remember if it's first pitch of the at-bat or it was early in the at-bat. And the moment he hits it, lazy pop up to center, but you're thinking, well, at least that's deep enough to score the runner on third. As the camera switches to center field, you see Nick Sogard rounding second base underneath the flight of the ball as they're following it out to center. And my first thought is, oh boy, he has no clue what's going on right now.
He thought there was 2 outs.
He thought there was 2 outs. Everybody in the stadium thought that there were 2 outs because the scoreboard showed 2 outs. And it wasn't just Sogard at first base. It wasn't just Siegler who wandered off the bag at third, didn't tag up, and just kind of jogged his way lazily home, crossed the plate while the rest of this is happening. They all thought there were 2 outs in the inning. I don't know if it's because of what had just transpired, the confusion on the previous play, because the fact that the scoreboard at that time showed 2 outs. The players after the fact have said that the umpires stated there was 1.
Yeah. I was thinking Sogard should know.
Sogard should have been, the fact that he was standing on first, he wouldn't have been there had Guerrero caught the ball. But this led to the confusion of both those runners taken off upon contact, like you would with 2 outs. Ball is caught in center field. After the fact that Siegler's already crossed home plate, he's on his way back to the dugout thinking it's the 3rd out of the inning. The Blue Jays pitcher and catcher are having a conversation walking off the field because they think it's the 3rd out of the inning. Everybody on the field, be it Red Sox players or coaches and Blue Jays players, are coming off the field except for Toronto's shortstop and second baseman, who are the only ones that seem to figure out, wait a second, that ball that was just caught in center was the 2nd out of the inning. We have to double off one of these 2 runners. What they did not know is that there was a hidden 4th out rule waiting to pop up, whether they doubled off the guy at third or whether they doubled off the guy at first. So what happened is, because the ball was caught in center and they chose to throw back to first base to get Nick Sogard, it turned into a timing play where as long as Anthony Siegler crossed home plate before the ball made it back to first base to double off Sogard, that run counts because after all of that took place, everybody vacated the field, and the Blue Jays then lost the opportunity to appeal the play at third. So it is a very, very strange and confusing rule. 509C4. The rule as it's written in the rule book, appeal plays may require an umpire to recognize an apparent fourth out if the third out is made during a play in which an appeal play is sustained on another runner. The appeal play decision takes precedence in determining the out. For the purpose of this rule, the defensive team left the field when the pitcher and all infielders have left fair territory, which is what the Blue Jays did last night, which then triggered the 17 minutes of confusion after it.
Well, it's 17 or 16 or 15. Speaking of confusion, I've heard all three of those
still
numbers.
Don't know how long the game was
today from different media outlets. I was going to mention that to Justin Turpin when we had him on. But the only thing that baffles me in that situation was the runner who scored never tagged up.
No, he did not.
So why is he an even legal runner at that point?
Doesn't that break every rule of baseball that you've ever been taught, that I've ever been taught?
That's what I don't get.
That how we stand to understand the game?
Right.
So it's purely because, and again, Siegler said that Chad Epperson, the Red Sox third base coach, told him there was one out when he arrived at the bag. But because the scoreboard read 2, which is controlled by New York, by the way, not the home team.
By Major League Baseball, not by, in this case, the Blue Jays.
He looked up at the scoreboard when the ball goes in the air. He saw 2 and just instinctively started jogging towards home. But, yeah, that makes no sense to me that because they didn't choose to double him off, they chose to double off the other runner and then vacated the field. His run counts, even though he in no way should have been legal during that entire time.
He never tagged up. Turns out it's the only run the Red Sox scored in the game. But the other thing that needs to be mentioned is the fact that you talked about the scoreboard and how it was controlled by Major League Baseball in New York in terms of putting up all the stats and all that kind of thing. When that play began, and I think you mentioned it, it showed 2 outs, which, guys aren't thinking. They look up the scoreboard. The easiest thing to see.
That's what Siegler said.
Once you're taking a lead or once you're out, but midway through the play, and I think it was before the ball was caught in the outfield.
It was, yeah.
Suddenly,
someone came to.
It changed from 2 outs to 1 out, which was probably too late to affect this play. I'm not thinking the runners are looking back at the scoreboard while the play is going on to see how many outs there are. They're doing it with a frame of reference based on maybe what they saw before as their last frame of reference, as opposed to even what they were told by their own coaches. But just a bizarre play. I still don't get how that's legal, where there was the runner who was allowed to score never legally tagged up after a caught fly ball to the outfield. Don't get it.
No, it's this weird corner of the baseball rule book that under that circumstance, you also then have to make an attempt and get the fourth put out in the same sequence to end the inning.
I mean, I understand having to force out somebody before everybody runs off the field.
But you would think that would end it, right?
Right.
Third out. That ends the inning.
Yeah, because the other guy didn't legally tag up. But, well, thank God it was the only way the Red Sox could score a run last night.
The only way they found a way to climb onto the board.
Maybe that makes it a little bit more worrisome, the fact that it was the only way they could score last night. And now they run into Cease tonight for the Blue Jays, who's having one of the best seasons of anybody in the league pitching-wise.
Just striking out like 13 guys per 9 innings, so he's not going to make it any tougher on them tonight at the Dish, but yeah, a very strange occurrence there last night. Game 1 at the Rogers Center. Here in the Drive at 5, we are brought to you by Northeast Driving School. They have been the leader in driver training for 57 years. You can register today for Driver's Ed courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school. tried to choke down a burp there mid-read, and it didn't work out for me or the read. So I'm going to start from the top. Northeast Driving School has been the leader in driver training for 57 years. Register for Northeast Drivers Egg courses at Greater Bangor's #1 driving school, 942-1769, and northeastdrivingschool.com. Also brought to you by Tossie's Checkout. We keep telling you about those Sasquatch seekers descending upon Tossie's Checkout in 1492 Pushar Road in Glenburn on August 29th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Bring your best Sasquatch call and win a $100 cash prize. Compete for legendary bragging rights, and it is free to enter. Bring your crew, bring your call. We'll see you at Tossie's Checkout. I think after talking about this for a month and a half leading in, we're going to have to get that winning call to play on the show.
I'm kind of curious what route the successful caller will go, because there's so much mystery about what a Sasquatch actually sounds like.
What's the leading emotion? But is it anger? Is it rage? Is it love looking for a mate? Who knows?
It's probably some guy.
There are
screaming.
many ways you can take it.
I mean, I have no idea. What animal do you go to for a frame of reference for a Sasquatch? Is it human? Is it
honestly? Yeah, I don't.
Or is it some sort of other animal?
It's two-legged, so I don't know what you compare it to.
No, I don't either. It's that's part of the charm and also part of the challenge facing those people who choose to enter the contest.
And part of the draw to get you out there to 1492 Pushar Road coming up on August 29th. In the next segment of today's show, I'll let you know that we're going to be talking some Jaylen Brown, Celtics, Sixers, and the NBA schedule that was unveiled today. We'll also have a cue to call right now for our Red Sox ticket sweepstakes presented by Dunnett's Appliance and Service. I tell you that because I'm going to play Lou Merlone kind of being one of the very only people on the planet, it seemed, in the moment to identify what was happening during last night's game on our way out here. That coming on the other side of the cue to call. Jaylen Brown right there. That was him speaking at his introductory press conference in Philadelphia, talking about what the city of Boston means to him after spending a third of his life there. Showed up as a 19-year-old, leaving town just shy of 30 after 10 years with the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is signing off in style from Boston. Classy guy during his 10 years and heading out of town in a very classy way. He's hosting a Thank You Boston free block party at Boston Common on August 30th from 2 to 7 p.m. The event will feature a brand pop-up store featuring his 741 Athleisure brand, the clothing company there, carnival games, a surprise concert, giveaways, and more. Brown said, quote, "Boston, you helped shape the journey. Now let's celebrate it. This is our way of saying thank you to the city that's shown love from day one."
Well, and again, Jaylen Brown, no matter what city he has been in, has kind of taken to being part of the city. I mean, he's big into during the off season in terms of going to schools, helping support construction of courts and all kinds of things for the kids and
community impact. He said it was just something that he witnessed at an early age, what it means from the other end, and always stuck with him.
I'm sure he'll do the same thing in Philadelphia for that matter. Matter of fact, he held his opening press conference at a school or a club of some sort, like a youth club.
Yeah, just
as
like
opposed to
inner city rec center.
Yeah, as opposed to the Sixers, headquarters or something like that, where you would normally think some of those press conferences would be held. So it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see. Patriots couldn't show up for Vinatieri. See if the Celtics can show up for Jaylen Brown because of what he was able to contribute to that franchise and keeping them in the championship hunt. Wouldn't
that be something if most of the rotation except for Tatum shows up to his going away party?
I sense that there might be some conversations, texts amongst some of the players about,
hey, we'd like to be there, but
should we go or
show of support?
I don't know why they wouldn't go.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, it's not like they're going to be a fist fight or something. I mean, it's like
it's just a bunch of it's like playground feelings, basically, is what the NBA's run off of.
Yeah, it's kind of. Not as bad as the WNBA, I got to tell you that.
No, that gets carried away too.
But this would be in a way, I can't believe I'm saying this, could provide a little bit of closure to the whole thing in terms of just a handshake between Tatum and Brown or Stevens.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys that were on the team this past year that played with him and have a different maybe appreciation for Jaylen Brown, what he was like as a leader, because he took on that role this past year, and did a pretty good job in terms of the bottom line until the playoffs, at least. 56 wins during the regular season. I don't want, at the same time, you don't want to take it away from the kids, really.
Sure, what it's about.
Going to show up and families and stuff like that, because that's a big part of his existence off the court in Boston as well. It's kind of just being around and being available, and there's one more chance for him to do that. So it's should be pretty cool.
Yeah, again, just classy move from a guy that's been really nothing but class from his career so far in the NBA, certainly in Boston. Jaylen Brown hosting that block party coming up at the end of the month, August 30th, 2 to 7 in the afternoon and evening right there at Boston Common. You can go to his social media for some more information, because I think if you want to attend, you do have to let them know. You have to sign up ahead of time. You just got to fill out a flyer. Yep.
It doesn't cost anything, but they try to get a handle on how many people
head count and everything. Yeah. Gotta have a little bit of those.
Can't handle
those numbers worked out.
3.2 million
when the city overwhelms them with a going away parade.
Don't go.
As we were talking about last hour with Justin Turpin, we learned the start of the Celtics season, 26-27, and it's happening on a Tuesday afternoon in Detroit. So X amount of weeks from today, because today is a Tuesday afternoon in August right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to be opening up in like 2 months in Detroit.
It's not like it's a special Tuesday or a holiday Tuesday.
October 20th.
Tuesday, even some Mondays are holidays, but not Tuesdays. That's the kind of the confusing thing in terms of why they would do that. I mean,
using the Celtics as a season opening guinea pig, apparently, to see how NBA fans and markets react to a mid-afternoon, a matinee game here as the front end of a tripleheader on opening night.
What's the date again on that?
October 20th.
Does that run into Major League Baseball Championship Series, World Series type stuff? I wonder if there's some sort of, I know that the 7th game of the World Series is Halloween, so conceivably it could be. I
don't know that they would care, though, because they've got a game at 7 and 9 that same day. So it's the Celtics that are getting out of the way early.
I guess it gets people thinking about basketball a little earlier in the day, and maybe if they aren't so inclined to root for whoever's going to be in the World Series, they could draw some ratings from it.
I was kind of wondering, and I heard the show before we went on the air, the new one that now leads into us on ESPN Radio, Matt and Myron, who have made the move from weekends to weekdays here.
Let's do it on Saturday.
ESPN Radio, and they were kind of wondering, is this the NBA trying to capitalize on what they just saw the World Cup be able to do with afternoon games and time slots of the viewership that they were able to find success in? But that's a global game with eyeballs from all around the planet at different times in different time zones.
And it was going on for a month or 6 weeks.
For a month.
This is kind of like a one-off.
Yeah, this is a Tuesday afternoon to open the season.
It's not a holiday, not a special day like Christmas, whatever day of the year that is.
Now, I mean,
there's 5 games on Christmas Day, I think, if I remember right.
At the same time, it's the world we live in, where it's assumed that, hey, it's weird to put an NBA game, let alone a season opener, at 3:00 on a Tuesday. But the World Series, when it was the most popular thing in this country, used to be played on weekday afternoons back in the 20th century.
That was the World Series. I mean, that's not. This is, it's opening day. I understand it, but it's a regular season game, and it's Boston versus Detroit, which is not Boston versus the Sixers or the Lakers. Or this year, the Knicks.
So you're thinking they might have made a mistake with the opponent in the time slot.
They obviously thought about various opponents, and they just decided that, as you alluded to a little earlier, maybe nationally people don't make such a big deal out of Jaylen Brown going to the Sixers from the Celtics as we do here in New England. It's just strange. I mean, even if it was like Columbus Day or something, there was some, and I'm
There's
just
an
bringing up
excuse for it
like
to
a
be-
Monday holiday. Then go ahead. It's a holiday. People are off. People aren't working. People aren't going to change their schedules to go watch a 3:00 Celtics game. Now, even though it's opening day, it might catch it if you get home in time, from work or school or something like that. But I don't know that you're going to go out of your way. Oh, damn, I got to get home. It's not like, that's different from the old opening days of baseball, Major League Baseball, when people would skip school or at least have the radio out back if you're an old timer. I don't know. I just don't get it. It's fine. I mean, I don't care. I'll probably, if I'm not working, I'll watch it. If I am working, then
we'll probably be on after it at this point.
I'll get a neck strain by looking behind me at the screen. But, it's fine. I mean, I don't know that it was really necessary. You probably could have put a game like that on the first weekend and probably get a bigger audience, because that's potentially an important game. These were the 1 and 2 seeds in the Eastern Conference last year. Now it kind of went south with both of them in the playoffs. Celtics got bounced in the first round in 7 games, and the Cavaliers got bounced. Pistons got bounced by the Cavaliers in the second round. So neither one of them got what they wanted to out of the postseason, but they are teams that figure to be in the hunt again this year, and that's that makes it an intriguing game. And but I don't know.
We get baseball in the afternoon weekdays all the time, but that's just something that it's like baseball is a daily, nightly occurrence that you don't even pay attention. You think, well, of course, they're playing today. They're either playing in the afternoon or at night. That's just...
I mean, even if it was a Friday. Yeah. Like a Friday afternoon.
It's the season opening aspect that sticks out to me.
I know that's why they do it, but I'm just trying to understand. I mean, obviously they are trying to expand their reach in any place they can do it. And this is right in the heart of the baseball postseason. Now, those are all night games, but if you can get people watching a basketball game at 3 PM and you come back with Knicks, Sixers, and Spurs and
Thunder
at night, then maybe that afternoon game is a lead-in to getting people to stick with the basketball at night at the expense of Red Sox, Dodgers in the World Series.
We can only hope. But I mean, like, in that sense, if that's what they're doing and they're playing with afternoon matinee markets in this country, I know it's the Western Conference Finals, that capper. Why not put the French international global superstar in the afternoon, who his country is 6 hours ahead of time? Maybe you get that market to tune in at prime time, 8 o'clock over there.
I just think that a rematch between Oklahoma City and San Antonio.
Oh, I know it. That's what this country wants and demands in prime time. But
I mean, it's got so much more appeal than Celtics Cavaliers.
Put Luka in the afternoon. Put Joker in the afternoon. Someone whose home nation, you're kind of playing to that far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how that's going to affect things. I know what you're saying, but I just don't know how that's going to affect things. I just don't get it. I mean, it's good. It's one game I'll be able to see because it's on national TV, and it'll be on the afternoon. If I'm not working, then I'll probably watch. I'll watch it. But I don't know. I mean, they're trying to expand their brand, and part of they compete against baseball now. Let's face it, they do compete against baseball at times of the year, late in the season. I mean, a couple of weeks there and. In October, and certainly at the beginning of the season, they compete against them with their playoffs, and so I think they're just trying to further establish itself as the number 2 sport in America.
Well, and going off that, what we were talking about yesterday with just how far away these other sports are from the NFL and trying to play catch up there. The NFL Hall of Fame game last week, Thursday night, featuring a bunch of guys who probably aren't going to make this year's team's rosters, had 7 million viewers. That is more than any MLB game this season, any NHL game last season, including the Stanley Cup Final. A exhibition game before the rest of the preseason even begins still dwarfs the best that 2 of the other major leagues have to offer.
And it's only going to become more pronounced as the National Football League continues to expand
their footprint
within the context of a week.
Yeah.
more days,
it's
more
already,
nights.
It's 6 days this
yeah,
year.
it's there you go. It's what's the day that it isn't? Is
Tuesday.
It Tuesday? Okay.
Yeah, because the Patriots open on a Wednesday, and you've got games Wednesday through Monday when you pick them off the schedule at various points this year.
Yeah, so if you're a big football fan, just plan all your running around town chores for Tuesday night because
Tuesday's the next Tuesday's
football
the
every other night.
It's the new grocery shopping night and errand night here.
Yeah, but that's what they have done, and basketball is trying something. And I mean, this is probably as much experimental as anything else in terms of let's throw one out there and see what happens. And if they get $1 million or I don't know, $1.5 million, that's pretty good.
Whatever the number is,
we'll try it again sometime.
Yep.
Maybe make it and maybe make some sort of package they can sell to Netflix or anybody. I will get you the Tuesday afternoon package of NBA. So all you people that get out at 2:00 in the afternoon from work 6 to 2, you get a basketball game when you get home. I don't know.
We're not far away from it all being broken up to various streaming, and I wonder if that, like what you're talking about, new time slots, new things, if that's part of where we're heading with this, where you can get a game anywhere, but also at any time.
I guess. I mean, you're just creating more opportunities, and you add each one of them together to come up with the big number. In terms of how many people are watching basketball.
To these leagues, it all equals dollar signs.
Sure does.
The Drive brought to you by Novus Auto Glass. Give them a call today at 945-6688 to get your windshield repaired or replaced. We're also brought to you by your local family-owned McDonald's, Main Street and Union Street in Bangor, Wilson Street in Brewer. Once again, shout-outs to Marty and Mia for stopping by yesterday with some of their treats. We were enjoying those Caesar snack wraps. Those were quite nice. Quite nice. We had some ranch ones as well. All the new drinks. I enjoyed the Red Bull Refresher. You had the vanilla Coke that was like a float. Make sure to check those out. Take advantage of them starting tomorrow at your local family-owned McDonald's. Once again, Main Street and Union Street in Bangor, Wilson Street right here in Brewer. And we're brought to you by Dean's Detailing, the leader in auto detailing for 55 years. Renew your vehicle's appearance, protect your auto investment, look good and feel good in a clean, shiny car, and book your appointment at deansdetailing.com. We got to take a time out. We'll get you a sports center and a weather forecast on the other side of it, and then it is on to Sox Props. Final full segment of today's show. The Drive brought to you by Acadia Federal Credit Union, their newest location, open right here on Wilson Street in Brewer, serving Maine since 1963. Branches now in Bangor, Brewer, and Aroostook County. Learn more at acadiafcu.org. Of course, brought to you by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get loot and get sold with Next Home Experience. We have to pick out a Sox prop, and no matter what happens tonight, Ernie, we will remain over 500 because we lucked out last night by not looking at the board when we were making our selection, realizing that we picked the same prop essentially that the roast took, which then prompted my conscience to text Marcus Caesar, producer of the morning roast, and say, you know what, we weren't paying attention when we picked the same prop as you guys, Sonny Gray, 5 or more Ks. Switch us over to Sonny Gray, 17.5 or more outs recorded. Sonny Gray went 6 innings last night,
which is 18 outs.
and he only struck out 4.
Oh.
So we won both ends of that.
Nice job. But that's true. We didn't realize it until afterwards.
We never looked at the board, until we looked up to see that we took the same exact one as them last night.
Because I'm looking right now at Gray 5+ Ks.
Yep.
When he didn't, and I saw that this morning. Looked it up. It's like 4. I said,
that figures. Yep.
But well, that's good.
Worked out for us there yesterday.
So those records that are up there now are accurate.
Actually, have not been updated. We are now 28 and 26.
Okay.
They dropped down a game. Still in front of us though at 33 and 29.
33 and 29 is what? 62 and 28 and 26 is 54. So they've got us in.
They've got us in by a few, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of course, anytime the Sox are in the afternoon, they knock us out here.
That's right.
They, being the roast, are going with Adley Rutschman tonight to get his first hit as a member of the Red Sox, minus 176 to put a hit on the board tonight. I've yet to see the lineup.
We're not going to do that then.
Yeah, we'll avoid Rutschman over 0.5 hits tonight.
All right.
Which is the route that we took yesterday. Dylan Cease, I mean, this guy, all he does is punch people out.
Yeah.
Now, Red Sox offense has been down for the last 3 games. I feel like if we take Cease with strikeout numbers, tonight's the night that they throw a bunch of hits up there.
How big's the number?
We can slide in at 7. He averages 13.1 per 9 innings. and we can slide in, at 8, which is a sizable number for strikeouts.
Yeah, he had 12 the last time. Was that a complete game that he threw the last time?
Against the Red Sox?
Yeah. It was like a one-hit shutout.
I'm pulling up his game log this year to see just how high those numbers in the K column get here for Mr. Cease. Again, 2.28 ERA, that's 4th in baseball, 184 strikeouts, 3rd in baseball. His previous 4 starts, 10 Ks in 7 innings against the Cubs, 7 Ks in 6 innings against the Cardinals, 12 Ks in that one-hit complete game against the Red Sox, 7 in 6 innings against the Rays. And his start before the All-Star break, 11 Ks in 8 innings against the Giants. So the guy goes deep into games. If the strikeout number, if we're not confident in that, let's see where his outs recorded are, 18.5. So we would have to take him not just going 6, but pitching into the 7th and recording it out in the 7th.
Yeah, but he's going to do that.
You think so? Now, that's plus money, plus 126. So Vegas is trying to tell you that the Red Sox will get him out of there before 7 1/3.
Well, they owe him some hits.
That they do. 7 1/3 is...
he goes a lot of innings.
He does go a lot of innings.
What's his... how many innings has he thrown this year?
The total...
And how many starts?
126.1. And let's see here. 5, 10, 14, 18, 20 starts.
Okay, so that's just over... That's
right around 6 and change.
Yeah, just a little over 6. So that's a fine line there.
I would be...
You like the strikeouts better?
No, I would actually be more tempted to go under 18.5 than 8 plus, just because I think under 7 1/3 innings pitched is the smaller number than 8 or more strikeouts. Or, I mean, we can take the Red Sox route in all this.
Well, I'm not that optimistic right now, the way they have been unable to produce runs.
Another one that we could go on, Dylan Cease, hits plus walks plus earned runs. Again, a guy that in that last turn against the Red Sox allowed a grand total of 4 in that category. 1 walk, 0 earned. 1 hit, 0 earned, 4 walks. That number tonight we can get at 8 or fewer. But again, you can add that up quickly between traffic and a couple of free passes.
Right. Except he has stuff that is capable of shutting you down.
I mean, if you're comfortable with the strikeout number, I'll take it because I'm looking at the figure that says 13.1 next to 8 plus. So
and he's 8. So yeah, I'd go with that.
All right, taking the Sox to punch out 8 times tonight. Dylan Cease, he did it a dozen times the last time he faced him. We'll see if he can get 8 tonight. The roast, going with Adley Rutschman to get his first hit as a member of the Red Sox. Both can happen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We can both be a winner tonight. Make that one Adley hit a home run, have the game end 1-0. Everybody goes home happy. That's what we'll be doing coming up in the next segment right after we give you buzzer beaters. Wrapping up this Tuesday edition of The Drive. We'll be back for you tomorrow. Final show of the week because the Red Sox and Blue Jays play at 3:07 on Thursday, knocking us off. Then we have one of our pre-planned Fridays off coming up at the end of this week. Tomorrow, myself and Jim will be over at Heroes in downtown Bangor. Max back here in the studio, bringing you some radio magic between 4 and 6. Ernie, what do you got to beat the buzzer?
Who's the worst team in Major League Baseball?
The popular answer is the Rockies, but I'm going to say the team we were just talking about in the break.
Okay. I'm glad you at least said it that way. The Los Angeles Angels. I don't even get the point of the Los Angeles Angels. I mean, they haven't been competitive since John Lackey pitched for them.
Yeah, 2002 World Series against Barry Bonds the last time they were around.
Just terrible. They fired 3 of their coaches today. Kurt Suzuki, the manager, has survived for the Angels. 45-74. They're 1 game worse than the Rockies. Colorado, 46-73. And I just don't get the whole concept of the Angels. They're a secondary team in that market.
They play in a suburb.
They play in a suburb. The only thing they got going for them, I guess, is Mike Trout, but do
people still care?
I don't know that he does.
I know.
As long as the check clears, and it's a pretty good check still, but boy, it's kind of sad.
Yes, it is.